Welcome to episode 10 of Shadow Stories. Today I have former collegiate and current semi-pro soccer player Phil Wcislo. Phil, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. As good as it can be.
Trying to stay sane.
Yeah.
Well, right off the bat, what got you interested in playing soccer and when did you begin playing?
So the thing that got me interested in playing soccer was my dad. My dad played soccer a lot while I was growing up. We watched it all the time. I remember asking my dad, like, who's the good guy on the team and who's the bad guy on the team? Like, what's going on with all of that? So yeah, that piqued my interest, but I didn't start playing soccer. I was a little bit late with all that. I started playing in seventh grade or so. So I was already like, how old are you then? Like 12. So that's when I started, but I picked it up very quickly going through. I was an athletic kid growing up, so I did like karate and gymnastics, swimming, just anything that could really get me going. And then once I got going with soccer, it just took off, could not play it. So.
Well, you played at Ignacio Valley High back in the days and you guys were pretty dominant. Describe your experience over at YV.
YV was fun. When I first got onto the team, I started off at JV my freshman year and then got bumped up to varsity once the playoffs started for schools, the NCS. And it was fun. It was a really cool experience. I met the JV coach there who ended up being one of my volleyball coaches when I played volleyball over at YD also. Um, and it was good. It was a good experience as a new freshman. All the seniors and everybody that were there were super nice to me and treated me really nice. Skill wise, we were up and down. So that first year that I played, we didn't make it too far into NCS, but ever since that first year, we moved forward and got to where we are today. So.
Well, talking about moving forward, senior year, you and YV were a powerhouse. Did you expect all the success coming into senior year?
Yeah, with what I meant with moving forward is my sophomore year, all that new group of freshmen that were coming in. I remember a lot of the players being extremely talented and knowing that at least during my senior year, I was going to hope that we would at least win the league, which we did. But that whole process from the sophomore to junior year to senior year, it was with this group of kids and guys, I mean, men now. But back then when we were kids, it was just, you could tell that the vibe was right. We all understood each other and we had a large talent pool to pick from. So, and then it was exciting to win win league my senior year because it was since my birth, we hadn't actually won league. So YV hadn't won the league in, what was that, 18, 17 years. And then my senior year was really nice to kick butt and take the title. So
now you ended up continuing your soccer career at San Jose State where you played for the club team. Why did you decide to go to the Spartan community?
So when it came to choosing which college I wanted to go to, I applied anywhere I could, just trying to get my foot in the door. Being first generation, I didn't really know how it all kind of worked, like how the college scene worked. I didn't even know about playing soccer in college as much as just wanting to get into college. So talking with the academic advisor over at Ignacio Valley, I believe they call it the college counselor or something like that. We went over like what was important. I went over just wanting to be close, but still go to the highest level school that I could possibly go to for education purposes. And so that's how I ended up at San Jose. It was the highest school that I applied to get in. And once I got in, it was kind of the sure bet considering it's only an hour away from home. So.
What did you enjoy the most about playing soccer at San Jose State as well as San Jose State in general?
San Jose State, it has a vibe about it. It was very nice. Everyone kind of gets each other. I like the actual location. The campus is closed off from all different streets. It's an open campus, but all the streets are closed off. So once you go from one side of the campus, you can make it all the way to the other side of the campus without having to cross the street or anything. I thought that was very nice and convenient, especially for transportation purposes. But playing soccer over there at San Jose was incredible. It was a lot of fun. A lot of the club guys definitely were playing just because it was their passion to keep playing. There wasn't like a job requirement. They wanted to play because it was the only thing that they really wanted to do. So it was a good experience. It definitely helped lead me towards
Mhm.
the path that I chose education wise, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. So
What is the biggest difference when it came to the actual soccer team as well as your club soccer team at San Jose State?
so with the club soccer team, it's a lot more like the players that are on the club soccer team have different things going on than the players who are at the D1 level. So at the D1 level, I'm sure they were getting up early and getting a lot of trainings in. A lot of their lives revolved around soccer. While I feel like at the club level, a lot of the players had soccer revolve around their lives. So there was a lot of situations in which work would have to get in the way. Classes weren't figured out in the right schedule, so we had to figure out different training schedules for certain people. Um, and all in all, with the club aspect, there were several positions that you could acquire there. So there was like you could be the president of the club team, which I was for believe 3 years running. And then you can also be like vice president. There was a treasurer. We had different positions popping up left and right, with different people filling into the positions. So it was a lot more real world applicable, you could say, where you could have more of an advantage to feel out what it was like to run the team rather than just be one of the pieces.
What were your duties being the president of the club soccer team?
I had to make sure that we were recognized by the university. Um, Weekly meetings with our club sports director. A whole bunch of different things like making sure that the league was running and we had, I mean, field space. We were able to schedule games with other schools. Um, that had a lot of different things pop up where people needed to cancel last minute and you have to reschedule and rescheduling games and everything. Getting refs situated, and yeah, then figure it goes down to like the little things like uniforms or socks, setting how much dues you need for all of that. But definitely working as my time as the president, it wasn't really possible if I didn't have the rest of the group that was there to help. So having the treasurers and the vice presidents and even some members of the team that just wanted to pop in and help out, go to meetings, different things like that. So
Unfortunately, college can't last forever, so you ended up in the workforce. However, you continue to play semi-pro for the Contra Costa FC. Describe what it means to play semi-pro.
playing semi-pro is exhilarating. It's the same kind of mindset that came from the club soccer field where if you want to play, you're going to play. So all these players that come in still want to keep playing. They want to keep getting better. Um, the semi-pro level is definitely it's a mix match of players who have played at that collegiate level in D1, D2, D3, all the different kinds of divisions, but also players who did the club soccer. There's players who haven't even finished high school soccer yet, and there's players who only did club soccer, and it varies dramatically. But once you have the right mindset going for a team, that's when the semi-pro level really kicks off and you vibe as a team and end up winning championships. You get better together kind of thing. So
Well, Contra Costa FC is the fourth tier of the USA soccer pyramid. Did you expect to make it to the semi-pros and continue playing after college back in the day?
uh no, when I finished with college and moved back, I really focused on work. So that was my thing for the first year. But then I noticed the opportunity to play for Contra Costa, and this was prior before they actually made it into the fourth division. It was just a local team that was playing for right here in NorCal. We call it Liga NorCal, which is still a competitive league to all the like everyone that was involved. A lot of high level teams were in there, but we ended up winning the tournament and then applying for the position to be in the UPSL, and then from there we got in and moved in. So it's definitely been, I never thought that I would still be going and still thinking about playing soccer. Especially if I hadn't done any research about teams. I didn't even know about the UPSL until Contra Costa said they were trying to get into it. So, but yeah, it's been exciting. It's really nice.
What is the biggest difference between college soccer and Contra Costa FC?
I would say that there is a bigger disparity in the talent and how much players are really still playing for. Because once you're done with the college soccer, a lot of guys like me decide that maybe working is better, so they would work. And at the end of the day, after working an 8-hour shift, you're not super hyped up to get up and go play soccer all the time. You want to go home and just relax because you got the next day coming up. But with the Contra Costa FC and the UPSL level, a lot of teams and the players, they want to play, they keep playing, and they'll work 8, 10. I know some of my teammates who work 10 to 12 hour days but still come out on the field and try their hardest out in the field just to wake up the next morning. And like, I think sometimes within like 4 hours they have to be up for their next shift, but they do it. So it's more of a mentality thing. You definitely see a difference in wanting to play and get to that next level, especially with a lot of my teammates that um, from last season to this season, we've lost a few, but their mentality is to keep getting better, to get better. And by losing them, I mean, they've moved on to different levels that are higher in the pyramid that is the US soccer pyramid. So we have teammates that went to the USL, the USL2, different teammates who play for, I can't remember what it's called, the NISA, I believe, with the Oakland Roots. It's just been, it's a different mentality when it comes to playing for the UPSL.
Well, obviously, winning's one of the big goals, but besides winning, what are some of your goals when you play for Contra Costa FC?
Me personally is to just keep improving, get my physicality up. I like being fit and moving around, and it definitely is a release when I've had a long day at work or something like that. So, but a lot of the mentality of the team, I would say, besides winning, is getting the chemistry down, getting what the coach wants out of us. So, and just working for the team. So, we've definitely had a few changes recently where we are playing a little bit in a different style, but I see a huge effort from the team to show, to reciprocate, I guess, to kind of do exactly what the coach wants us to do, even if it means, hey guys, we need to slow down for a sec and let's figure out how we should be doing this and then applying it into the real game time situations.
How would you describe the Contra Costa FC community, your coaches, and teammates?
I think they're great. I think the support from one another is really good, especially coming from, it starts at the top. So our owners down to our coach, down to the team, down to the fans, everyone is trying their best for each other. And it's really great to see that coming from the top of an organization when you're one of the lower pieces, just being one of the players, knowing that the coach believes in you and the organization, and for the owners to believe in you as just as much. So
Well, you stated a couple of your former teammates moved up in the ranks. If you had the opportunity, would you try to make it up in the ranks as well?
I actually haven't thought about that until the quarantine happened. So once the shelter in place orders have kind of came into effect, it really has been kind of, you get too much time to think about everything. So I would say that yes, I'm probably wanting to pursue soccer a little bit further, even just seeing as how far some of my teammates are able to make it playing for teams like the Oakland Roots or Reno. Um, it's definitely inspiring and motivational to definitely try my hardest, especially during a time where no one can really do anything. Are you going to be the person that's still going to be moving and still grinding to try and get to the top, even with, I guess, limited resources? So,
Due to these times, seasons are on hold, gyms are closed. How have you been able to stay in shape?
my apartment complex is on a hill. So I, at least, let's see, I try and give a day break in between, maybe 2 days break if I've had a hard session, but I like to go out and get a lot of conditioning in where I'm running sprints up my hill as many times as I possibly can. Um, there's also kind of a perk of the shelter in place is no one is out and around in downtown. So while walking my dog, I will actually just take a soccer ball with me and juggle it through wherever I am, dribble it wherever. Um, Getting passes off walls, different things like that to keep me going, just to keep the touch up. And then other exercises that just be doing at home, the regular good old push-ups and sit-ups, everything that you don't really need weights for. Just anything to try and keep me in shape and match fit. Um, Especially the hills. The hills I've very much appreciated. They suck, but they have been a lot of it's been very good and it's been keeping me, I think it's helping me get into better shape even. Um, so yeah.
Have you had any contact with your coaches or teammates during these times?
We've just been checking in to kind of keep up to date with what the league requirements are, letting everyone know like, hey, let's stay in shape, all of that. Getting hit up to play FIFA. That's a thing that happens a fair amount. There's anything to, keep camaraderie around and keep together, while still needing to be socially distant and avoiding all the things that would go against guidelines, such as sharing the objects like a soccer ball with people who aren't living with you. Um, but yeah, the team has been trying its best. We've just been hoping to get as many updates as possible, but the updates kind of go with whatever is going on in the world. So no answers are clear.
Well, besides playing soccer, you're heavily involved in sports. You're an athletic director for after-school sports in Walnut Creek, help run the sports camp in Walnut Creek. How much does sports mean to you, and how eager are you for them to return?
Um, I would say my life revolves around sports. My job revolves around sports. My extracurriculars revolve around sports. And it's not even just soccer. It's every kind of sport, like football. I can't play fantasy football as far as I know for now, so it's getting kind of antsy there. But I think that like having sports around is very, very vital. My position as an athletic director, it's very important to me to offer a wide variety of sports to some of the people who might not be interested in sports. Um, so including different things that are fun to get kids out there and moving, like dodgeball, incorporating all different kinds of things that might not even be considered sports, like skateboarding, yoga. We've been trying really hard to make sure that we reach the audience that even isn't considering trying something like this, but trying to keep them active and moving and um, healthy. That's one of the biggest things, especially right now with what's going on. So,
How have you been able to adapt when it comes to being an athletic director during these times?
uh, during these times, it actually ended up, with no one able to sort of be with each other. The sports seasons all came to a very quick halt. So, adaptive wise, it was just sort of letting everybody know that we're on hold until further notice. Figuring out different things that we can do for the next year, a lot of different things to figure out so that we can be up to codes, I guess. It's not even codes, it's just our own standards of cleanliness. What sort of things can we do to avoid kids getting sick even in the future, like sanitizing the equipment that we use, such as the basketballs, all different things. Just trying to figure out anything to keep busy and productive with work. So,
Well, final question. Do you have any final message to your family, friends, your roommates, teammates, anyone out there?
sorry if I've been really annoying talking about sports and how much I miss just wanting to kick a ball, I guess is what I'd say. So,
Well, thank you, Phil, for your time. I'm glad you were able to come in and talk with me.
yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.